Welcome into Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee. It's the show that highlights Giles, Lawrence, and Maury counties, all from the pages of your local newspapers. I'm Scott Stewart. I'm the publisher of your local newspapers, the Pulaski Citizen, Main Street Maury, and the Lawrence County Advocate. Here are some stories, some events that you will find in this week's editions of your local newspapers. First of all, next Tuesday is November the 11th, is Veterans Day. And all of our papers have tributes, salutes, and features about veterans and Veteran Day events in our communities. And we want to thank you to all who have served and are serving now. In Lawrence County, Feeding Lawco is a local food drive that's going on right now through November the 12th. I can tell you more about that in the upcoming LCA route. In Maury County, Piggly Wiggly has started offering their holiday deals. And there's one place that you can find those deals every week at the Pig, and that's in Main Street, Maury. First Friday in downtown Columbia this week will feature Happy Feastmas, which will include the Christmas tree lighting downtown. In Giles County, Star Theater will present a movie sing-along featuring Wicked. That's Saturday, November 8th at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. Audience members are encouraged to dress up if you'd like to and to sing along. More information is available in this week's edition of the Pulaski Citizen. We'd love to get you a copy of your local newspaper every week delivered to your mailbox with a subscription. And here's how you get your subscription started now. You can call 931-363-3544. You can call 931-762-1726 or 615-452-4940. Any of those numbers or any of these websites, PulaskiCitizen.com, MainStreetMaury.com, and LawrenceCountyAdvocate.net. Any of the numbers, any of the websites will get you everything you need to know for an online or traditional subscription to any of our papers or websites. Okay, Andrew, Chandler, Maurice, myself, we're all coming back with our wraps. So we're just going to go ahead and get those wraps started right now.
Hello, Maury County. I'm your Main Street Maury reporter, Andrew Pearson, and this is the news from our first issue in November. First off, I asked and searched around and found a decent list of Veterans Day events happening this and next week. Get out there and celebrate the work, some of it sacrificial, that our military veterans have done to keep the United States free. In our Veterans Day story, I interviewed Dale Winston Riggs, a 92-year-old veteran of the Korean War. Riggs was 16 years old when the war broke out, the day he graduated high school. And like a lot of men his age and not much older, he signed up to fight. I've got his stories of his time in the service and his special contributions to the Korean War Memorial in D.C. on pages A1 and A3. Next up, the County Commission voted 2 weeks ago to set guaranteed maximum prices and borrow money for three big projects. $16 million to renovate the county courthouse, of which $7 million will come from a maintenance fund, $10.8 million to build a new animal services campus, and $6.16 million for a new library for Mount Pleasant. The purchases were very popular, though a couple commissioners had questions or objections to design aspects. The commission also debated how much to charge Columbia for solid waste disposal, and Representative Scott Sapicki awarded $63,000 to the Rural Fire Department and a State Colonel Aide Camp award to Kayla Southern for her nonprofit work. Our reporter Mallory Gaines, meanwhile, interviewed the student actors and staff of the Columbia Central production of Clue. The young people and their teacher Zachary Smith will present the mystery story in matinee and evening shows on November 7th and 8th. Tickets are online. And finally, the city commissioners of Mount Pleasant have set public hearing dates for the Mayor Builders development of 247 houses on Trotwood. One will be on November 27th at 6 and one on December 8th at 7. Ahead of those hearings, Main Street Maury reached out and got the commissioners' individual statements on whether they'll vote for or against the subdivision and why. Commissioner Pam Johnson couldn't respond before we went to print this week, but we added her statement to the digital article, which will drop on Wednesday. In our other news, the City of Columbia is looking forward to both Thanksgiving and Christmas with the theme of their November 1st Friday block party. The Spring Hill Planning Commission heard more about the prospective Whataburger on Belshire Village Drive. Altium Cells will also lay off 700 employees from January through June, like General Motors. Maury County Public Schools got almost $30,000 in nonprofit education grants. Susan Steen editorializes about our attachments to particular places. The Watershed Public Theater will perform A Doll's House at the Polk Presidential Hall on the second and third weekends this month. And finally, a psychiatrist, a family doctor, and a gastroenterologist walk into Maury Regional. You finished the joke. Anyway, that's the A-section news for this week. Thank you for tuning in to our wrap. Next up is coverage of our B-section, full of sports news, op-eds, classifieds, puzzles, and more. And thank you once again for giving your attention and your dollar to local journalism.
Is your internet slowing you down? Well, it's time for an upgrade. Unleash the speed you need at home or at work with CPWS Internet. You can get speeds up to 1 gig for as low as $70 a month. No contracts, no hassle, just pure, powerful internet. Give us a call today at 931-375-7777 to order. Local service, local support, CPWS.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
This is Chandler Harmon bringing you this week's Pulaski Citizen Wrap. And we'll start this week with our Citizen Spotlight of Bob Swinney. His photo graced the spot of honor at the top and center of our front page. Also in A1, the Giles County Ethics Committee has voted to continue with a complaint made against the department head after an initial meeting. The complaint was made by former employee of the Highway Department, Allie Journey, against department head Gene Barnacle. Pulaski natural gas fees are set to increase following approval from the Pulaski Board of Mayor and Aldermen at their meeting last week. The rate increase comes as gas tariffs have gone up significantly, causing an increase in prices. The Giles County Arts Council is set to hold an arts and crafts fair Saturday at the Giles County Agri Park. Work continues on renovation to the front sidewalk and entrance at the Pulaski Electric System building. Halloween fun in the county featured multiple events last week, including Growing Tree's annual trek around the square and UT Southern's Boo Out. Inside, local musician Worley Max McKinney has released a new CD titled The Land of Milk and Honey, Songs and Memories from Giles County, Tennessee. This week's GCHA Pet Corner Pet of the Week is Maggie. And as always, the Pulaski Citizen has backward glances, property transfers, obituaries, government public notices, community briefs, church directory, fun and games, Tennessee Valley weather, and church briefs. Well, that's it for us. We'll be right back after this.
Is your internet slowing you down? Well, it's time for an upgrade. Unleash the speed you need at home or at work with CPWS Internet. You can get speeds up to 1 gig for as low as $70 a month. No contracts, no hassle, just pure, powerful internet. Give us a call today at 931-375-7777 to order. Local service, local support, CPWS.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
need to make a call. Hey, this is Brianna with Busy Bee. I'm giving you a call to let you know your technician is on his way.
Guys, not yet. Not yet.
Busy Bee,
Not ready, guys.
Call 775-7833.
The Lawrence County Advocate Wrap starts this week with local law enforcement agencies joining together to enforce drivers failing to stop for school buses that are loading and unloading children. Local officials are taking this very seriously, so make sure that you take extra care anytime you're driving around a school bus, but particularly when that stop sign comes out. In the introduction, I told you about Feeding Lawco, and this initiative is an effort to help Lawrence Countyans who are struggling due to the government shutdown. Now, through November 12th, donations can be dropped off across Lawrence County. You can find out all about it on page A1. We have a schedule of events for Veterans Day on the front page, as well as a great story by Nancy Brewer about the new wing at Leoma Baptist Church. Inside, wood heaters are suspected causes of 2 recent fires. A Lawrence County deputy entered a burning home recently to save a family pet. 4 suspects are sought in passing counterfeit bills in southern Lawrence County in North Alabama. We've got a full page of salutes and tributes to veterans in this week's edition. STRHS encourages getting a flu shot. Lawrenceburg Public School has shared its first quarter perfect attendance with us, and Mr. Henry writes about farming then and now. The Lawrence County Historical Society recently hosted a program about old documents, papers, and letters from Lawrence County, and Mr. Beard took a pilgrimage to the Shrine of the Most Blessed Sacrament down in Hansville, Alabama. And finally, Carrie Stagg shares some of the photos she took at the Lawrenceburg Square trick-or-treat event last week. Also, there's a lot more to see in the Lawrence County Advocate every week, including local obituaries, local community announcements, government notices, auctions and estate sales, 2 pages of puzzles and comics, and the local weather for Tennessee Valley weather, as well as the local church directory. And that's it for this week's Lawrence County Advocate Wrap. We will be right back right after this.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated cost plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily, as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Busy Bee, yeah, Busy Bee. If you need
Hold on, y'all, hold on. I need to make a call. Hey, this is Brianna with Busy Bee. I'm giving you a call to let you know your technician is on his way.
833.
Busy bee. Guys, not yet. Not yet.
Busy Bee,
Not ready, guys.
Call 775-7833.
Is your internet slowing you down? Well, it's time for an upgrade. Unleash the speed you need at home or at work with CPWS Internet. You can get speeds up to 1 gig for as low as $70 a month. No contracts, no hassle, just pure, powerful internet. Give us a call today at 931-375-7777 to order. Local service, local support, CPWS.
Hey, I'm Maurice Patton, Regional Sports Editor for Southern Middle Tennessee for Main Street Media. This week's Pulaski Citizen, Lawrence County Advocate, and Main Street Maury, those would be the November 5th print editions. Once again, full of high school sports, because that's what we do. It's not all we do, but it's what we do here at Main Street Media. And in this week's Pulaski Citizen, let's start. Couple of region football championships for the Giles County and the Richland football teams, both of them clinching with wins this past Friday night. Giles County taking down Sequatchie County at the Brickyard, Richland going on the road and knocking off Moore County, and the Raiders picking up their second Region 5 1A championship. Giles County winning the 4-3A title. Coverage of both of those games in this week's Pulaski Citizen. Also a development from over the weekend. Giles County was set to host Chattanooga Central in an opening round game in the state Class 3A playoffs. Instead, the Bobcats have gotten a forfeit. See details again in the print edition of the Pulaski Citizen. More postseason activity as Giles County cross-country runner Joshua Johnson will be in action this week in Memphis at the state cross-country meet. He will run in Thursday's Class AA Boys Championship race down at Shelby Farms Park. We've got details on that event in this week's Pulaski Citizen, as well as our contributions from outdoors writer Larry Woody and this week's Nostradamus playoff predictions. Also, playoff brackets for both Giles County in Class 3A and Richland in Class 1A. So be sure and check all of that out in the November 5th print edition of the Pulaski Citizen. In the Lawrence County Advocate, Loretto named its football stadium after longtime coach Butch Toner during Friday night's loss to Mount Pleasant that ended their season. But great turnout there in support of Coach Toner, and a great job he did back during the 90s, the winningest coach in Mustangs history. Again, he was recognized. His name is now on the stadium. Congratulations to Coach Toner. Tough loss for Loretto to wrap up the season. Summertown went on the road in Region 5 2A action, needing a win and some help over at Adamsville. Didn't get the win, missing out on the playoffs with a 17-14 loss over at Adamsville. Again, we got details in this week's Lawrence County Advocate. Playoff brackets for Class 5A as Lawrence County advances. They will play on the road to open playoff action this weekend. Again, the bracket is in this week's Lawrence County Advocate. Also, Lawrence County sending a runner to the state cross-country meet as Noah West will be in the Class 2A Boys Championship meet over at Memphis on Thursday. Be sure and check that out. We've also got coverage of a couple of former Summertown Blasting Crew members who have seen some success at the collegiate level. Details on that in this week's Lawrence County Advocate, as well as some Lawrence County Wrestling Club activity recently. Larry Woody contributions, Nostradamus playoff predictions, all of that in this week's print edition of the Lawrence County Advocate. In Main Street Maury, Columbia Central picking up a region championship with its win down at Tullahoma last Friday night. We've got details. Columbia Central's first league championship since 2012. More in print this week. More football. Excuse me. Battle Creek got a monster game out of Stanley Williams Jr. to edge Hickman County. Get the details in this week's Main Street Maury. That ought to get you started, though. Mount Pleasant again closed out regular season play with a win down at Loretto. The Tigers getting ready for Class 2A state playoff action. Independence picks up the final playoff spot out of Region 6-6A with its win over rival Summit last weekend. Brackets for 2A, 4A, 5A, and 6A, all in print in the Main Street Maury this week. We've also got, again, state cross-country action coming up on Thursday and Friday. Columbia Academy, Independence, and Summit will all have runners in action over the next couple of days down there. So be sure and get the details in this week's Main Street Maury. Girls soccer state tournament took place last week down in Chattanooga. Summit made its first ever trip to the Class A state quarterfinals. Unfortunately, the Lady Spartans fell in those quarterfinals, but we've got coverage of that, so be sure and check that out, as well as, again, Larry Woody outdoors contributions and Nostradamus' playoff predictions for the opening weekend. All of that in print in Main Street Maury. Be sure and check out the websites over the week as well, PulaskiCitizen.com, LawrenceCountyAdvocate.net, mainstreetmurray.com, and particularly the latter because we've got an article that did not make the paper because it didn't happen till after we went to print. But Spring Hill interim football coach Josh Taylor is no longer interim football coach. Details online at Main Street Murray. Check out the websites for everything that happens this week, over the weekend, and pick up a copy of next week's November 12th editions for all of that coverage as well. I'm Maurice Patton, Region Sports Editor for Southern Middle Tennessee for Main Street Media. We'll see y'all next week.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
Well, good Wednesday morning. Taylor Plott here. Quick update on your forecast. Starting off your Wednesday morning chilly. Once we get into that 8 a.m. hour, we will start to see our temperatures get up into the 50s, eventually the lower to middle 70s by the time we get to the afternoon hours with a lot of sunshine. So a fantastic day. Get outside and enjoy it if you can. Evening still not looking too bad. A little bit on the chilly side, though. By the time we get to 7 p.m., temperatures will be dipping down below 60 for the most part, eventually back down into the 40s and even some upper 30s by the time we get into your Thursday morning. Here's your 7-day forecast. Big changes on the way, specifically Sunday into Monday. Another cold front moving through. That one's going to bring a shot of some very cold air moving on through. Chilly and breezy on your Monday. Temperatures for highs staying in the 40s. And then we have a couple of nights of some freezing temperatures. Sunday night into Monday, we'll have freezing temperatures. And then Monday night to Tuesday, we'll have even colder temperatures as we will be down into the 20s.
Hey, that's it for Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee this week. Make sure you get a copy of your local newspaper so that you don't miss a minute or a second of the coverage that we have lined up for you all across Southern Middle Tennessee. For more information on subscribing to any of our local newspapers, you can visit one website, and one website will do it all. That is mainstreetmediatn.com. That's mainstreetmediatn.com. And again, we thank you for trusting us as your source for local news, information, sports, and more. And good Lord willing, we're going to be right back here next week on Mornings on Main Street, Southern Middle Tennessee.